You ever had to carry people?
Yeah, in Overwatch.
Wait, who are you carrying?
This whole fucking team.
Oh my god, you weren't carrying the whole team.
The whole quest lies on Tyson McKay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dicey D20. As always, it's your boy, Noah, DM, ushering you guys into another fantastic episode of Dungeons and Dragons, here with our boys.
Not that fantastic.
Okay, well, I mean, I think it's fantastic. Our fans obviously think it's great. What are we at? We have 1,400 downloads today.
You saw those 5-star ratings on iTunes?
Yeah, true. Give us 5-star ratings.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, that was actually sweet. Schell messaged me 5-star ratings on iTunes. Here, like, Lil Wanye gets 5-star ratings, and here we are getting 5 stars as well.
Who's Lil Wanye?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Lil Wayne, but I call him Lil Wanye.
Oh,
okay.
Thought it was that Japanese girl that tries to be sexy with food and throws food all over herself.
I think we should probably just restart this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dicey D20. Let's go through a quick recap of last episode. Our players, Fievel, Mousentrouve, Bright Lord, Rogar, Ragnak, and local hometown hero, Fireman, Tyson McKay, all went on a little bit of a journey. You all left the hag's lair, left her little zone of the swamp, went back to the lizard folk village, where Arda kind of had some flashbacks to when her and her grandfather would walk through the swamp. He would always walk past these ruins and, say, when you're in great need, when times seem dark, the answers are our ancestry, the answers lie in our history. And you guys entered a very, very old collapsing ruin. Kind of moving up the ruin, you guys felt like you were kind of winding back and forth like a serpent. When you reached a bit of wood, some vines growing on the inside of the temple, you encountered a woodwode, a guardian spirit who has undergone a willing sacrifice, self-sacrifice, to eternally I mean, kind of, but not really.
No. It is what it is. We need to talk about this. It's an open dialogue now.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
You need to get help.
The woodwode has existed there for centuries, if not longer, in order to preserve the temple, make sure that no evildoers, wrongdoers come in and pillage it. You guys were followed by Yanty. I don't know if you remember this, Tyson McKay, but that serpent that you saw in the trees watching you guys, that was your boy, the Yanty.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You should have killed him.
So, followed you guys there. The woodwode fought him off. You guys kind of helped, I suppose.
What? I scared him away.
I
did more damage. I did more damage than the whatever.
I don't think you did do more damage.
I think when he saw Fievel, he was just like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I don't want to get embarrassed by a fucking mouse.
Yeah, you're right. This serpent humanoid was like, oh shit, a mouse? What I usually eat for dinner, but just like a few pounds heavier? Fuck that. No. No, he was scared by the woodwode. He ran away. The woodwode led you guys to the crescendo, to the top of the temple, the underground ruins, where there was an eye made of stone, where then he placed the tablet, which you guys got from Ozod's house, this ancient tablet, placed it inside the eye, and some, mechanical workings of stone took place. Sunlight shone down upon it, and now there's this bright yellow beam of energy, which is currently vibrating, kind of making this like humming sound as it resonates through the ruins, and presumably is going to lead you guys towards the temple of the Yanty.
We don't know that.
It's going to lead you somewhere, right? But I mean, that's
kinda McDonald's.
Hopefully
the Golden Arches.
Yeah. What is McDonald's?
All right, everyone tweeted us and let us know whether you think it's going to be McDonald's or whether it's going to be the Yanty temple. I mean, it shows the Yanty temple on the tablet. I'm not sure how you got McDicks from that. There's literally no golden arches on that.
Is it Walt Disney? Are we going to Disneyland?
Oh my, yeah, this whole storyline was just an elaborate ruse to get you guys to go to Disneyland.
They bought us out. They bought us out just like they bought Marvel and Star Wars. Oh man. We sold out.
It's okay. Fievel will find a place beside Mickey. Or maybe I could kill him and become Mickey.
You could become the new Mickey.
Why on earth would I let Fievel into Disneyland? That is a disaster waiting to happen. 14 children dead, their parents are never going to
mediate what I do.
They cut me in line. I cut them.
Open? No, it's, so that's where we find ourselves now. But before we begin, We'll get to questions, comments, and concerns, but I believe we have 2 level ups in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
You're goddamn right.
Who wants to begin? Maybe Fireman, maybe Bright Lord? Who wants to show off their new level up?
Mine's pretty, short, so I'll go first.
Let's hear it, Rogar.
Alright, so level 4, I got to up my ability scores, so strength is 18, so I get a +4 now.
That's sick.
And dex is +1 now.
Excellent.
And my health is at 35 instead of 29.
That's pretty good. 35's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and that's it for me.
Excellent. All right, on to the Fireman.
All right, level 4. I took a feat, and my feat is Observant. So Observant gives me +5 bonus to passive perception and investigation.
Nice.
And if I can see a creature's lips, I can read them the actual thing specifies that you have to know their language. But since I know all language, I can read everyone's lips now.
Look at you just breaking the game, eh?
Oh, you know it. Tyson McKay breaks everything.
I'm just gonna talk with my ass and see if you can read that.
The fuck do you... You know what? 5-minute timeout. I don't think that was funny.
Silent spell on you.
No, actually, that works fairly well. I mean, you can understand all languages. Now you can read lips for pretty much any language that exists. That's pretty nasty.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
So if we want to say something, we have to turn around so Josh can't see our lips.
Hi, what are you guys saying over there? Turn around a little bit.
I think your character just has an
zooming in on my goggles.
I don't think your goggles have zoom. A. B. I think your character just has a mad sense of FOMO. You're just so afraid of missing out, you can't miss a single thing.
Hi.
So we should just blind him, and then he won't be able to read lips.
Here, let's get those glasses off you.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'll take those off.
No.
Yeah. Legitimately though, taking those glasses off, I think would lead to blindness. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to begin. So I'm going to pass it over to my players. Do you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns before we hop right into it?
Hi. Stop looking at me.
Okay, Tyson, if you could just chill out for a second. No questions, comments, or concerns?
I'm good.
I would like to make one comment, actually.
Okay, fine.
Don't sigh. Fuck you.
This again.
I did do more damage than the wood thing. Wood.
We're going to leave that as just a comment that doesn't need to be answered. Alright, so I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What would you guys like to do? You find yourselves inside the ancient ruins of the lizard folk. The tablet in place in the eye of the serpent is currently guiding the way with this bright yellow beam of energy. You guys may now do as you please.
Should we
beat that guy up?
Yeah, you can't take all of this.
No, Orin.
Oh. No,
I
like
Lothian.
No. Guys, it's Orin.
I don't know about this. I feel like I got a mouse in on it. Whoa. At least he remembers my name and he didn't call me Fievel, because that isn't my name.
Well, it's
Are you witness protection?
Yeah, should we confront him?
Confront who? Orin or the Woodwode?
Lothian.
Neither.
Why on earth would you confront either of them?
Yeah, the Woodwode. Hey, buddy,
Yeah.
are you okay? There's helplines. You can talk to someone.
Okay. I don't know if I like this bit where you think he committed suicide. Okay. Anyone who's interested in the Woodwode, definitely check it out. It's in Volo's Guide to Monsters. It's really, really cool. Definitely a great way to spice up any storyline. He did not commit suicide, Tyson McKay. He chose to give himself up so that he could protect a very important secret.
I think he's sad, though. He's kind of lonely.
Okay, so what do you want to do then?
Can I ask him if he wants to come with us?
Okay, you can ask him in Sylvan if he'd like to come with you.
I would, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to speak Sylvan in real life, but
yeah, maybe
I
if
speak it now.
you want to role play it for me.
Math and English thing.
Let's say, hey, hey, buddy, what's your name?
Baxter.
Okay, roll me a d20. He's not really a conversation guy here.
He is for
me. That's an unnatural 20.
The Woodwode looks towards you and responds in Sylvan, and he says, "I have no name."
Let's call him Sylvan.
Can I call you Fievel?
No.
You may call me whatever you wish.
Daddy.
But don't call me late for dinner.
Jesus.
Do you want to come with us on our mission?
Roll me a d20 for that, for sure.
Oh, we're on fire today. 21.
Unnatural 21, Jeff.
It was an unnatural 21, sorry.
That's actually a nat 20, so...
So is that
alright,
good?
So, it's pretty good for you guys, yeah. He seems to be a little bit more receptive than a Woodwode normally would be. He looks to you and he says, "The journey beyond is yours. But if you need aid, I will come.
I look around and I say, I think we need it.
I lost my beast. He's outside. He can't come in.
You can ride him if you want.
I told everyone, let's spell on the doors and squeeze them in, but no.
Okay, I don't know who you think you're talking to. Are you just talking to everyone right now? Because these guys are speaking Sylvan, which is a language of the Fae, and you don't speak any of this.
I'm just shouting to myself. I miss my Jack Bauer.
Okay, you've been separated from him for like 12 minutes, so maybe you can hang on just a little bit longer for everyone.
I better conjure some animals. I'm getting pretty lonely.
There's a dragonborn.
Oh.
Nobody touched me.
Can I tame him?
Tame the Dragonborn?
Give me some berries and...
They're like animals.
He's a self-conscious humanoid. I don't know what you think you're going to do. You know, I'm actually going to... I don't think your 5-minute timeout's over yet, so actually, if you could just fucking shut your mouth, that'd be great. So the Woodwoad
Can I roll to break this spell?
What did I fucking just say?
Yo, these mouse lips don't just shut for anyone, you know?
Apparently they open for anyone, though.
That's true. No, just Jack Bauer, actually.
Okay,
so the
continue.
Woodwoad just... Thank you. Yes, I will continue. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the Woodwoad...
But wait, first I clean myself.
Okay, you know what?
No.
How about you just take the time that you need? Take the time you need. You finished?
Right.
You done?
Just the tough to get spots. It's a little rough, you know. I've been doing this for years, but the tongue ain't long enough. It's tough.
Holy shit.
Okay, I'm done.
You're done?
Fievel's clean. Oh,
Yeah?
Baxter's clean, I should say. Yeah.
Okay, so the Woodwoad just offered his aid in what comes next. The Woodwoad has completed his what he was tasked with doing, right? What he sacrificed himself in order to achieve. However, you know, the greater task at hand is not over yet. So you could say that, yes, he could just remain here. He could just fade out of existence, but due to the crazy charisma skills of the fireman, he is going
That's why they keep me around.
He's offered to join.
He likes my goggles. Wow.
Sweet.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's take him off and give it to him if he likes them so much. Yeah.
I turn to the rest of the group and I say, so the Woodwood's gonna come with us, guys?
Orin nods his head towards you, and then he bows to the Woodwoad and says, I thank you.
I translate for him.
So the Woodwoad places one of his kind of wooden arms over his chest and also bows slightly, not as deep as Orin bowed, but, you know, for Orin and these other knights, you know, have obviously been around the world and seen many things. A Woodwoad is a very rare magical creature.
Wow. We've seen 2 of those now.
I don't think you have seen 2 Woodwoads.
I meant magical creatures.
Aren't mouse folk a sub-race of the Woodwoad?
Are you made of wood?
I like to think so.
He makes bark skin or whatever.
Yeah, he's
Alright,
not.
I would know.
You're you are not a descendant of the Woodwoads. No.
Damn it! My grandfather lied to me.
They kicked you out of the village.
No, somewhere way back in your ancestry in the family tree, a really horny teenager just fucked a bunch of mice, and you are the product of that. Fucking,
Wow.
yeah, you're the product of that bestiality.
That explains a lot, actually.
Yeah, all the downsides of both humankind and mice. All right.
Oh, I meant
That's
half
why
of
they
his
tried to
face is just
slaughter
like...
us, because I was that teenager's bastard son. Oh my god, this is Game of Thrones all over again.
What would you guys like to do? Would you like to maybe move on from this, or is Fievel still fucking licking himself? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I say, all right, we should head out.
Follow the Topaz beacon, and I point in the direction that the beacon is going.
Okay, so Fievel very dramatically points in the direction that the beacon's going. Everyone else just begins to walk and leave him behind as he's just pointing in the direction.
Orin. I call Orin.
Okay, so Orin looks to you, waiting for you to speak.
Do you want to drop back with me for a second?
Absolutely. So,
What about
the group begins to
Baxter?
walk forward. Baxter, I don't fucking care what you do at this point. You are...
He's at our legs, curled up in a ball.
Arda is walking at the front with Lothian.
Scum.
In addition to, I'm assuming Baxter's going to be walking up there at the front somewhere. The Woodwoad,
yeah.
however, clings nearby to Tyson McKay. Just kind of like stands always within a few feet of him.
Sexual.
Bad romance. Yeah.
Jesus.
That's what Lady Gaga's singing about.
Is that what she's singing about? Woodwoads and... fucking, yeah. No, I don't know. I think, to be honest, at this point, you're too far away from the conversation that's happening, and I swear to fuck your 5 minutes isn't over, so please, Okay, so Oren's looking to you as everyone else continues to walk forward. He begins to walk slowly. The woodwode kind of like trails behind Tyson McKay as you both walk at least 20 feet behind the nearest, humanoid, which is Baxter.
I ask him how long he's known Lothian for.
Lothian? I've known him for
both
about...
of them, Luth and Lothian, sorry.
Well, I've known Luth since he was a young boy. Lothian, only the past few years, I suppose, maybe 2.
Interesting.
Why do you ask?
Well, Oren, I didn't know if I was going to come to you with this, but you know how these goggles sense heat?
Yes, I'm aware of the concept.
So when I put them on, everyone else gave off a heat signature, but Lothian's was a lot more dim than everyone else's.
So Oren looks to you. One of his eyebrows raises. Can see him instinctively kind of like reach for the pommel of his sword, but then he remembers himself and he looks back to you and he says, "You don't think."
I don't usually think, no.
Okay, you know what he was trying to do there, which is, he was trying to say you don't think that he could possibly be a Yanty, so he just didn't, fully enunciate that entire sentence. He said, "You don't think," and you just fucking ruined it, but it's fine. So let's imagine for a moment that he said, "You don't think he's a Yanty, do you?"
I don't know what he is, but he's not human.
Well, this is troubling. Troubling news indeed. As he looks forward, he seems disturbed, somewhat perturbed by the fact that one of the members of the Knights of the New Moon is an imposter. And he says, "If what Granny said was true, and these purebloods, these human-looking Yanty, can really disguise themselves so well, then I suppose it's possible."
Well, we'll have to strip him naked and find out.
Why would you have to strip him naked?
To find the reptile parts? Isn't that what we were going for?
Not a bad call, but
okay.
How are you gonna get him naked without him, being suspicious?
Baxter's in, I'll get naked first.
I'll just roll sneak check, okay?
He says to you, "There's no chance that it's the magic of the spectacles, that Granny Addie's playing a trick on you?"
Well, you said hags can't lie, right?
They can't, but their magical items can certainly be deceiving.
Oh. Well, the lizard that was in here had the same kind of heat signature, I believe.
Then this is fairly troubling. What do you suggest we do?
I think we have a nice little talk with Lothian.
I don't think a talk will go over well. If he's a Yanty, there's no bargaining or, conversing with him. Once he knows the jig is up, I'd be surprised if he doesn't try to eliminate us.
Maybe we tell him a plan that may lead him into a trap, and then we execute on a real plan.
How do you suggest we do that?
I don't know, man. I'm just seeing visionary.
He says, "Well, if we are on our way to the temple, his plan to strike must be soon. If we know it's coming, we do hold the upper hand."
That's true.
Just confront him before we get into the temple.
And his friends are following us now, obviously.
Yes, it appears that way. Perhaps one of us should keep our eyes on him more closely, and as soon as we see him make a move, we all turn on him at once.
Oh, I could maybe ask the woodwode to watch him.
Good call. Lothian doesn't understand Sylvan, to the best of my knowledge, and the woodwode would certainly be a threat to him.
Oh yeah, I think that's a good plan then.
I'm gonna leave, so it doesn't look suspicious. I'm gonna walk to the front. Does the mouse know?
I actually laugh in the game too.
Fuck you laughing at? You want to provoke someone? Just fucking get provoked.
Hey, what are you saying over there?
Talking shit about me?
Jesus.
Yeah, so I laugh and say no. That didn't seem like a good idea.
Yes, perhaps it's for the best that he doesn't know. We can't have anyone getting triggered and making a bad decision.
True that.
Fuck you guys.
Just under his breath, fuck you guys. What, you want to be taken seriously? Maybe don't get upset, at the drop of a hat.
Who dropped the hat?
Someone dropped my hat?
Yeah, I don't have a hat.
I'll kill him.
My grandfather's hat.
At this
your
point,
grandfather's dead.
At this point, we're all kind of concerned you killed your grandfather along with the rest of your village. So I'm not quite sure what we're supposed to think of you.
My true backstory. Oh man.
Okay, so Oren walks to the front and brushes past the mouse folk and up to the front with Arda and Lothian, which leaves Tyson McKay and the woodwode walking through the tunnels of this ancient temple, where you guys have a couple minutes to converse. Obviously,
I say, "Hey, Woody." I'm gonna call him Woody by now.
Oh, can I be Buzz?
How many names do you fucking want? You greedy bastard. You can't have one, two's not enough, now you gotta have 3 alter egos?
Whoa. Everyone thinks Baxter's my real name, so Buzz would just be my second one.
That's his nickname.
Yeah. Jeez.
You know what?
Fievel's...
DM executive decision, I'm not gonna allow it.
You're not even here.
Maybe Lightyear? I'll take Lightyear.
No, you can't have Lightyear either. You can have Fievel and one other name, and you chose Baxter, so fucking live with it.
Damn it. I should have said Buzz.
So anyway.
Okay. So you're speaking to the Woodwode.
Woody, would you be able to watch the other night for me?
So he looks to you, and then looks over to the rest of the group walking in front. In this deep sylvan voice, he says, "The one with the dark hair and white skin."
Yes.
Are you sure about that? You seem a little bit uncertain.
I didn't write down what it looked like.
You can roll me well, you can just look and see.
I'll just go on my instinct. That sounds like the guy. I can only see in heat signatures right now.
No, fair enough. You actually only can see in heat signatures.
It's the one that looks the coldest.
Okay, that means nothing to the Woodwode. But he looks to you and he says, "He is Yanty."
My worst nightmare has been confirmed.
He says, "You did not know."
Well, I suspected, but we're pretty sure he's going to betray us, so if you wouldn't mind, keeping a close eye on him while we head towards our destination, that would be, much appreciated.
Okay, so he looks to you, then looks back to the group, and he says, "I will trail behind in the swamp, and when he strikes, I will strike first."
Thank you.
He looks over to you again and kind of stops walking. And, as you kind of notice, I'm imagining that you kind of slow up and look back and stop as well. Or you can keep walking. Yeah. Okay.
I know.
So stopping and turning to him, he says, "My task has been completed. I have seen that the rightful heroes have found this place and are using it to vanquish the evil in the land. But I will help you on your quest. I think it is important that we end this together."
We're all in this together.
Hug. Yeah. It's a bro moment right there.
I'm not gonna hug him. He's taller than me, isn't he? Like lot.
That's okay. Hands around his waist.
No, he's not huge, man. The Woodwodes are medium. Like he's more around the size of a dwarf, to be honest. But he's not huge.
That's not what I thought at all. Holy shit.
No, he's not like a tree golem.
That's what I pictured. I pictured like a tree.
Yeah, I thought it was like an ant from the Lord of the Rings.
Okay, that's
making
way
fun
better.
of short people?
Yeah.
You wanna fucking provoke someone?
Let it go.
Me and him will team up. Short
my gosh.
people stay together.
Yeah, no, he's medium size. He's, like I said, he's more along the size of like a dwarf in height, but he's definitely a lot thinner. Yeah, he's like a small wood creature.
Wow.
I bend down and say, "Yeah, buddy, we got this."
Okay, so he says, "Go ahead. I will follow."
Okay, and I go ahead.
So the group nears the end of the ancient lizard folk ruins and out into the sunlight. Okay, it's midday as you all step outside to find a pretty gruesome scene. Luth, the other night of the new moon, was outside watching the horses and Jack Bauer, as you guys all know, and it appears that he got pretty badly messed up by the Yanty who came inside. On his neck there are bite marks.
Properly.
Oh my gosh, come, give the guy a break, man. It was him against a Yanty. He was all alone. Jack Bauer's nearby, and Jack Bauer looks like he was in a little bit of a scuffle as well. But
get over here, you big suck. Jesus.
It appears that Jack Bauer was off, maybe mucking some bugs or eating some small swamp wildlife when the Yanty approached and entered the temple. But the wounds that he has now, it seems like, he saw the Yanty leave and just, jumped at him and got a couple mouthfuls of him. The Yanty has escaped, but Jack Bauer definitely wasn't there to help Luth, it doesn't look like, because Luth has these deep bite marks in his neck. And all around those bite marks, his skin is swelling and purple. There's blood pouring out of the wounds, but the blood is not liquidy. It's more like a solid. It's kind of pumping out like applesauce in that kind of texture.
Baxter's hungry.
What's it taste like?
So very thick blood that doesn't look healthy at all. And he's on the ground, sweating profusely and moaning. Orin runs over and says, "Oh my God, Luth, no!" Luth is choking, coughing up blood as Orin delves. Thank you very much for the sound effects. As Orin delves into his bag and begins to apply a poultice to his wound, trying to suck the venom out trying to heal him as quickly as possible. Lothian stands in the background. And Tyson McKay, with your heat vision goggles, you can kind of see that in the shadows of the entrance to the temple, to the ruins, the Woodwoad just kind of stands there in the dark watching.
Can
Brightler, help him.
Can I rush over the Luth and cast a cantrip? That might help.
Yeah, sure, you can cast whatever you like.
So it's Spare the Dying, so it's touch a living creature that has 0 hit points. The creature becomes stable. I don't know if that would help.
For sure. So you cast Spare the Dying, and you visibly see a change in his demeanor. He ceases to sweat profusely. He's stabilized. So you've kind of stopped the poison in its tracks momentarily.
Okay. Sweet.
Orin continues to try and grab... Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give a light point for that.
Hey, sweet.
Congrats, Bright Lord. So Orin continues to try and cool him down. He grabs rags to blot away the sweat from his brow, and he tries to get him to drink some water, but Luth does not look well at all. Lothian puts his hand on Orin's shoulder and says, "We don't have time. We have to go. You would suggest leaving one of your fellow brothers behind. Have you learned nothing of our ways?" And Lothian kind of like remembers what's going on here, kind of like looks off into the distance, and he says, "Apologies, sir."
Yeah, you better keep in line, bitch.
Lick my nuts, you motherfucker.
I love the amount of hate for this guy. But yeah, just keep it bottled up. Don't actually tell him that. Arda looks to Orin and says, "He's not well enough for what comes next. We should take him back to the lizard folk town, and we should leave him to heal." Orin looks to her and kind of nods and says, "Yes, but we must do so quickly. I'm afraid we're running out of time."
Alright, let's load him onto the wagon.
Okay, so you guys load Luth onto the cart, and Tyson McKay, I don't know if you want to hop in there as per usual, or if you want to maybe
I don't
walk.
want to be near him.
You're right.
Jesus.
Yeah, you hate Luth. I forgot. Okay, so
How can you forget?
I don't know. I never take it seriously. I just figure it's a bit.
It's not a bit.
It's not a bit. You actually hate him. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Orin's my dad.
That's weird because in your room you have a poster that says "I love Luth" and everything he stands for.
Stop looking through my stuff. I'll kill you, Baxter.
That's so
You ever seen
fucking
roasted
weird.
mice?
Oh my gosh. Tensions
Just
get high, ladies and gentlemen.
Off topic, but can I extinguish fireman? Is that a thing? If I use my spell where I summon 30 gallons of water and I just drench him,
Okay.
can
A,
I
yes, it's off topic. B, it's not appreciated. And C, does he look like he's made of fire to you? Does he look like an open flame? No, he's a fucking human being. You can't
not
extinguish
always on
his
fire.
fire by getting him wet.
No one stops fireman.
Look, the guy doesn't bathe because he's a
Could've
slave,
fooled
not
me.
because he can't.
Hey now, sometimes I lick myself.
Yeah, that's fucking disgusting. All right.
Baxter does
So-
it and everyone's like, "Yay, Baxter, lick yourself," and I do it and everyone's like, "Ew, you're disgusting."
yeah,
Has
fucking
anyone
gross.
ever said, "Yes, yay, Baxter, way to lick your..." Every time we treat him with contempt.
I don't know. Whenever
I had
he speaks, I just stop
Quite the
listening.
crowd last episode. I want people to remember. Everyone gathered to watch me lick myself.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Okay, congrats on this amazing detour that you've taken us on, Fievel. We're now back to the real storyline which is happening, where the group is
Baxter.
taking Luth. Well, I'm calling you Fievel because I know your name's Fievel, and that's your real name. Everyone else can be tricked and call you Baxter, but I'm not calling you Baxter.
That's your mouse name.
My grandfather lied to me again.
Your slave name.
So the group is heading back to the Lizard Folk village. It only takes a matter of minutes to get there. It wasn't that far away. And you guys set up Luth on one of the tables in the Droktha, getting him nice and comfy so that he can obviously do some resting, which he needs to do. Arda heads outside and spends a few minutes gathering some herbs and some different flowers which grow in the swamp, which she grinds with a mortar and pestle and makes into a paste, which she applies to the wounds. And then she also has Luth eat it. So you're not really sure how effective this is, but she seems to think it'll help.
Taking care of his girl, eh?
If you
Yeah.
have some.
She looks to you and says, "Are you poisoned?"
My
Yeah.
life.
Mentally.
I like to think so.
She looks and says, "I don't remember you getting bit. I don't remember you at all."
Happens. You take it easy. It's
He's
okay.
pretty forgettable.
Just a big dumb mouse, I guess.
Small dumb mouse, but yeah.
Okay, so he says, "I'm just a big dumb mouse, I guess," and he walks off, upset.
She's
Okay,
gonna forget about you again if you walk off. Oh my god.
Good.
You gotta stay in the
Orin-
vicinity.
Oren looks to the group and says, Luth is in no condition to fight whatever comes next. And I don't want to leave him here unprotected, but I don't think we have a choice. We're going to need every man we can get.
He wasn't in much fighting condition before.
Okay, that's not very nice. So roll me a d20, please.
That's a 9.
So Oren looks to you with a scowl on his face and he says, how about we not talk ill of Luth?
Be a team player.
I say nothing.
Yeah, so he looks and turns his head away and says, that's what I thought. And then
Yeah, you like that, fireman? What you say?
He heads out to the front of the Droktha, where Lothian follows. You guys head out of the Droktha, I'm imagining as well, to follow them. And Tyson McKay, from your heat vision goggles, you see from, kind of peeking around from one of the homes of the lizard folk made of stone is those yellow eyes of the woodwode as he kind of watches the group.
Hi.
Yeah, maybe don't wave, maybe
guy.
don't flag him down so that everyone can see him, but yeah.
Who's that? Hey!
Oren looks to the group and he says, all right, so we know how to get there now. Let's keep our heads up and our swords ready, eh, boys?
I don't have a sword.
Hoorah.
Let's keep our fire hands
Hoorah.
ready then.
Okay, I light my hands.
In the distance, just a little bit past the village, you see this beam of yellow light, which shines through the trees of the swamp, past any of the hanging mosses and vines which hang from these trees, and seems to be just like this bright beacon. And the group begins to trudge into the swamp. You guys have Oren, Lothian, Arda, and obviously our 3 heroes moving on forward. Would you guys like to?
Arda's coming with.
Of course she's coming. Yeah, she's a warrior in her own right.
But I didn't know she was staying to take care of
Gotta find her Jeepa.
Luth. I didn't know she was taking care of Luth, though.
Her Jeepa? You mean her grandfather?
Yeah, I'm
Is that what you call your grandfather?
teaching the listeners hip language, okay?
They don't come here for hip language. They come here to listen to us play D&D.
It's a D&D podcast. Damn it.
I want you to do an offshoot podcast so bad where you go through like hip language.
Swag.
Would you guys like to tell me your marching order?
I'm gonna go first.
Oh,
The bright light leads the way.
yeah.
Okay.
He sees
so-
light and he follows.
Standing alongside the Bright Lord is going to be Oren.
Yeah, my boy.
Arda is walking second, so I don't know if Fievel wants to walk beside her, if Tyson McKay wants to walk beside her.
Hold on, so is Jack Bauer with me again?
Jack Bauer is with you.
Yes.
Yeah, he was outside the ruins of the lizard folk. He was a little bit injured by his scuffle with the Yanty, but it doesn't look too bad.
You're a champ, yeah. You don't need heals yet.
I'm gonna walk behind Lothian, whatever his name is.
You march behind Lothian, who's going to walk beside Arda. So in the back, we've got
no.
Fievel, Mousentrouve, and Tyson McKay.
I keep my hands lit.
That might seem a little suspicious. Are you sure you want to keep them lit at all times?
Oren said keep ready, okay?
Fireman, why are you fired up?
God, I hate everything you say.
Why are you the way you are?
Jack Bauer, swallow this motherfucker.
The one line from the Insight Check episode that I love to death is, I'm not comfortable in this group. Usually we're a team and I'm comfortable with my teammates, but I'm not comfortable. And I was like, I look back on the episodes, I think about all the stuff you guys have done, and it's absolutely true. I don't know if any of you are comfortable with this. Every single campaign I've ever run, every single session, it's like, yeah, we're a team. We work together. Yeah, there might be little scuffles over like gold or stuff like that, but you guys just legitimately don't like each other.
I told him my name.
Fireman.
Yeah, I told him my name. Like, fuck.
You told them your name was Baxter. You didn't tell them your real
And he
name.
believed it.
After
That's
6
not-
episodes.
That's not my fault.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so you guys are marching underneath this glowing beam of energy, which kind of pulses forward, lighting the way towards your destination. The swamp changes in its topography. The trees are denser here, but a lot more of the wood is dead, and you see a lot of like fallen over logs, fallen over swamp trees. And the muck that you're walking through is also thicker and deeper. Not many tracks here, just literally knee deep for any of the humanoids, or I should say medium-sized humans for Fievel. It's a really good thing you have Jack Bauer, because that would be quite a hefty walk for you otherwise.
Be quite moist isn't a bad thing.
You walk through the swamp for about 2 hours before the pulsing beam begins to kind of pulse quicker. So, there's these small circular beams which run through the light, and at first they were kind of going vroom, vroom, vroom. But now it's much faster. Vroom, 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 vroom. And this beam seems to become much more intense as you guys charge through the swamp. You reach what looks to be, the edge of some sort of clearing in the swamp with water and kind of bog in front of you that looks quite deep and treacherous to walk across. As you guys step from the trees, however, you step through something that feels like water, and Orin and the Bright Lord walk through what looks to be some type of barrier and come out the other side. You guys are absolutely fine, but the rest of the team loses sight of you. Lothian and Arda looks very surprised and goes, "Oh my gosh," and she begins to draw her weapons, and then from the other side of this barrier, hear Orin say, "We're fine, you're gonna want to see this." Okay, Lothian, by the way, does not look surprised at all as he continues to walk forward. Arda and Lothian walk through. It's now up to Tyson, McKay, and Jack Bauer and Fievel.
You take your time, Jack Bauer. Tippy toe. They said it's fine, but
yeah, Jack Bauer doesn't really know something's going on here, man. He's just...
I think he's fine there.
You don't know him like I do.
So, Tyson, McKay, you walk through as well, I suppose?
I want to wait for Baxter to go through.
Okay.
So Jack Bauer to push him.
Do you actually tell him to push him?
Yeah, just give him a little nudge. I don't know what he's waiting for.
Ow!
I am last in line.
Can I resist?
You can, but he's a huge toad. I'm just not sure you want to pick this battle.
I resist.
Oh, God.
I help Jack Bauer, so advantage.
Oh, my gosh.
I would do self advantage.
I don't want to DM this at all. I'm going to move over to our Bright Lord and just forget about you two for a moment fucking around in the swamp. So, Bright Lord, as you walked through, you felt yourself become drenched as though walking through a waterfall. But then when you come out the other side, your clothing is entirely dry, and you're staring upon a scene which is completely different from what you saw before. That clearing of the bog in the swamp where there's no trees has now been replaced by what's actually there, which is a massive bronze-looking in color, but made of stone, pyramid. A temple, where at each corner and at the entrances and exits you see very large statuary of serpents and serpent-like humanoids. There's no real visible movement that you see here, just this very large temple. Nearly 150 feet on each side at the base, this thing is massive and takes up pretty much the entirety of this open bog, which presumably looks like what the area would look like without the temple, right? So you and Orin kind of stand there looking at it. Arda and Lothian walk in behind you, and Arda gasps as she looks up at it. And from the other side of the barrier, you hear the Fievel, Jack Bauer, and Tyson McKay bickering over who goes through next. So
get the fuck in there.
Isn't there a saying, the man who rides the toad goes last?
I don't fucking think there is.
I think the animals should go first.
Oh. What, because we're lower than you?
Yeah.
Think you're better than me?
I'm gonna ask that this is resolved quickly, please.
Let's go together.
1,
2, 3. Yeah, we both go in at the same time. But I joke and I don't go, so he goes and I don't.
Well, you roll deception, because I'm
14.
You can roll insight if you want, yeah.
Yeah, no, I lose.
Okay, so you walk through thinking you guys are going together, but Fievel and Jack Bauer hold on the other side. And then seconds later, appear. You guys are staring at the same scene which I described to our Bright Lord. This massive pyramid structure in the middle of the swamp. That bright beam pointing and shining all the way to that outer dome, that magical protection that the temple has. It stops right at the edge of that. So
that's
that bright
McDonald's.
beam is no longer visible.
I said that's not McDonald's.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's fucking not. I think you knew it wasn't going to be the whole time.
Let's go back.
First Tyson was betrayed by Baxter, and now this.
Now this, eh?
Tyson's sad.
Alright, tune in for season 2, guys, where these guys just discover McDonald's.
We create it.
I had a player in one of my other games discover an alchemy jug, and for those of you who don't know, I mean, the alchemy jug's a pretty cool magical item. It can create a certain amount of different kinds of liquids each day. So, you can create like a gallon of wine, 2 gallons of beer, and then on that list in the DM's handbook, it says it can create 2 gallons of mayonnaise. Fuck, is that the running joke of that group? It's like They hunt a bear. It's like, ooh, we have bear steaks. What goes on the bear steaks? Mayonnaise. It's like, it's fucking everywhere, right? They use mayonnaise as lube. They use mayonnaise to
Why would they even play quests? I would just create a factory where I just make mayonnaise all day and I sell them.
It's funny that you mention that because they're in the process of doing that right now.
Oh, God.
They bought a plot of land. They bought a plot of land outside one of the major cities, and they're going to quote unquote start a factory where people think they're producing mayonnaise, but really they're just pouring mayonnaise from the alchemy jug into jars and like just fucking stacking it together and selling it. Wow. Anyways, so we are standing no more than 100 feet away from this giant pyramid structure. Very serpent-like in its construction, as you can tell by all the statues at the corners, at the top of the temple. But there's quiet. There's no sound, and there's nothing moving. Orin looks at the rest of the group, and he kind of kneels down behind a felled log. Arda follows and does the same, as does Lothian, and he says, "We need a plan."
As does Jack Bauer.
I hide behind Jack Bauer.
Orin looks to Fievel, and he says, "Unfortunately, my friend, I'm looking at that entrance, and I don't think Jack Bauer is coming with us."
Please?
Is the Woodwode coming?
The Woodwode has come through the barrier. You were looking for him, Tyson McKay, so he's obviously there. But he's just hiding amongst some felled trees, making himself look like nothing else, right? He's just looking like trees. And to be honest, he's indistinguishable from them, because that's one of his abilities, is he can just make himself look like he's foliage, right?
That's sick.
Wow.
Okay, well, I dismount Jack Bauer and I say, "Get out of here!"
Wait, he could stay guard.
Yeah.
I don't want him to... If he stays outside and all these invisible bums are waiting for him, I don't want him to die. I'm going to send him back to the village and he could watch over Luth.
Okay, so you communicate that to Jack Bauer. He looks at you and, slaps his tongue upwards, licks his eyeball one more time in front of you.
Yeah, and I say, you know what, you have some fun too, you know what? You do your guard duty, you take a break, go get a couple giant insects, you go back. I'm a good master. You know that. Now
Okay.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay, so Jack Bauer, not even thinking twice, just turns and begins to hop away.
He left after you said get out of here the first time.
Yeah, no sentimentality whatsoever. So Fievel's there like, no, you go, baby. You have to go. You can't stay here. And Jack Bauer's just hopping off in the distance. He passes through that magical barrier, and you can no longer see him.
Come back.
I rest you. I get a perception check for any beings in the area.
Okay, roll me a d20.
18.
Aside from the members of your party, the members of your group, you see no other beings. No birds in the sky, very few bugs on the ground, and no serpent-like creatures whatsoever, whether they be snakes or humanoids.
These glasses are busted.
So
I say that out loud.
Orin looks to the group and says, "The way I see it, we have two plans, two options ahead of us, boys. We either go in stealthy and hope we can rescue any prisoners that are still alive, or we make a diversion, draw out however many forces we can, and then someone slips inside unbeknownst to them."
Tyson can make a diversion.
I want to do something terrible.
He says, "To be honest, I don't like the idea of splitting our forces up, and maybe the element of surprise is what we need."
Well, I'm pretty good at distractions, Orin.
Okay.
Orin, are you there?
I don't know what you want him to say to that. Like, I mean, you're good at distractions, but you have to. This is a different situation than.
Orin, just say yes. Just say yes, Orin. I need this. Dad, I mean Orin.
Okay, but I mean, understandably, from Orin's point of view, this is a little bit different than the whole Grey Tips incident, right? Like, this is it's a pretty dangerous situation you find yourselves in.
Everything relates back to Grey Tips, Orin.
So Orin looks to you guys and says, "If it's going to be a distraction, it has to be a good one. One that's going to draw out their forces."
Fievel votes stealth, or Baxter votes stealth.
Wait, what'd you say first? Who's
said
Fievel?
Fifey, my flute. That's my flute. My name's Baxter. I vote stealth.
Jesus,
God,
the
that's so
lowest
stupid.
cover up.
Okay, Orin looks to the group and he says, "I also think the stealthy way is the best."
You rock, Orin. You know that? I want you to know that.
Okay.
Thank you, Baxter.
I guess we'll do distraction.
No, he said stealth.
Yeah, I know.
We don't know
Sorry.
how many fucking Yanties are there, so if we do a distraction and 50 of them crawl out of that goddamn
Then
bronze
it's a
pyramid,
fight, yeah, let's
it's
go.
A fight. We're gonna lose.
You ever see Tyson fight? It's pretty good.
God, you're so self-centered.
Yeah, I'll go with stealth.
So that's 3 for stealth. Arda also nods at the mention of stealth.
I guess we'll never go with Tyson's vote.
Good copying me, Arda.
First the hag, and now this. Look where it led first, Bright Lord.
You're right.
Okay. So Oren looks at the group and he says, I'll lead. Bright Lord, I want you with me.
Hey.
Hey, I yank on Oren's cloak and I say, hold up there, chief.
He looks at you and says, what is it, Baxter?
Pass without a trace. Na-na-na-na-na.
Okay, so you cast
so
Pass Without a
confused.
Trace on the group.
Yes, I
giving
do.
everyone a plus 10 bonus to their stealth checks
Oh, that's so
for
good.
the next hour or as long as Baxter's concentration.
Love
is-
me, group. You need
Okay.
me.
Where's everyone?
Oren and the Bright Lord, if the Bright Lord wishes, are going to begin to, kind of
wish.
crouching walk, like stealth walk, towards the pyramid. As you guys walk forward, Oren turns to you, Bright Lord, just turning his face towards you, and he says, if we're to make it out of this alive, you and I are going to have to take the brunt of the damage as we move forward.
Oh my god.
If they put up some sort of blockade, or if there's many of them, cut through as many of you as you can, but don't stop. Otherwise, they'll take us down. Leave the injured and the wounded Yanty for the others to finish off.
So you're saying we're like the A-team?
Yes, I'm saying we're the A-team.
Oh my god.
Hey, does that mean I'm B team? Fuck.
Is there room for 4? I could do 18.
Yeah, you're not doing A-team, it sounds like.
Take
Following him, Arda is marching alongside with Lothian, who is also crouching and moving forward.
Okay, I guess me and the mouse will go together.
my
Team.
If you guys want a different spot, you gotta start calling it out.
No. I like being beside the mouse.
See a beast? Can I tame him?
Keeps me humble.
Okay.
We might kill each other more than we kill.
Get away from me!
Stop touching me.
Alright, so are you guys kind of stealth walking behind the others?
Yes.
Yeah, but we're
Okay.
pushing each other to try and keep up.
You first, you motherfucker.
Tyson McKay, you look back periodically to see the woodwode, scuttling behind you guys.
I love him so much.
Jesus creep.
We are going to roll and see. Yeah, no one seems to notice him. They're all real low rolls here. I got 3s, 5s, 8s. Yeah, he's pretty much, no one notices him. Fievel, if you want, you can kind of see if you notice him.
That's a 19.
Alright, Fievel's perception's pretty high right now, and his mousy ears are kind of perked up, his whiskers are going, and he seems to notice the woodwode as well.
What the fuck is that? I look back.
It's the woodwode, idiot.
What?
He's coming with us.
I had no idea.
You did. You were there with me.
Must be the
Okay.
cheese. It's catching up
So-
on me.
Oren and the Bright Lord make it to the very first entrance. There's a few steps made of stone which go up towards about a 20-foot walkway or road made of brick towards the first entrance to the temple, which is square. It's about 10 feet by 10 feet and kind of burrows into the side of the pyramid. Oren scurries off to the side, to the right.
We want to scurry.
The Bright Lord to the left, and they kind of get themselves on either side of the door, and they kind of peer around inside.
How tall is this pyramid? Sorry.
The pyramid, 150. You're looking at a total height of over 260 feet.
Let's climb it.
Almost as tall as Baxter.
The top of the pyramid is not like it doesn't have a triangular pyramid-like top. It's actually like a square top.
It's the fashion back then. Yeah.
Let's climb it.
Architecture.
Let's just blow a hole in the bottom.
I can't blow
All right,
a
so
hole.
as Arda begins to move to the left to follow the Bright Lord, so does Lothian.
Oh god.
And with his sword drawn, he very quickly puts his sword to her throat and pulls her backwards towards, the entranceway to the pyramid.
My
Okay?
girl.
Oren looks, his sword drawn, he points it towards Lothian very quickly. Bright Lord, I'm imagining you do something similar with your spear.
Yeah.
So everyone kind of looks, Bright Lord doesn't look too taken aback. Neither does Oren, but Fievel's definitely surprised.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So the only one looking surprised being Fievel, everyone else seemingly knowing this was coming. Lothian has his back to the temple entrance, the darkness behind him, and he has his short sword pulled at Arda's throat. Seems like no one filled Arda in on what's going on, so she kind of wild-eyed looks around to the group, and Orin says, Lothian, let her go. He kind of like shakes his head for a moment, and you see his eyes change from the blue eyes that they were before, with obviously very human-like pupils. They now shift to a reptilian look. They've got the slits instead of the nice rounded pupils, and he smiles with teeth that look very white and all of a sudden seem a little bit sharper than they used to. Seems like whatever spell he was using to mask his appearance, he's obviously not too concerned now, and he stopped using it, and he says, Oh, I'll let her go if you come inside.
That was the plan anyway, idiot. Fucking...
He says, Was it the plan to leave your weapons at the door, Mr. Fireman?
Does it look like I have weapons?
I'm not too concerned about you on your own with your feeble spells, but everyone else can drop your weapons here and now. So Orin kind of looks to the rest of the group, and he says, And if you don't drop your weapons, I'll slit her throat right here.
Do it.
No.
Okay, so we have one do it and one no.
Well, she's gonna forget what he said anyway,
He's
so it doesn't really
bluffing.
matter.
We'll just murder your ass after you do it.
True.
Okay, so what would the team like to do? Because Orin's waiting to see what you guys are about.
I don't want my girl to die.
Yeah, Bright Lord would probably go along with it. I don't care, it's not
All
my
right,
choice. I don't have weapons.
I'm going to give you guys 15 seconds to decide.
Okay.
You went through all the
Weapons
trouble
down,
with grinding out of you. I drop my weapons.
I tell him only if he leaves his weapon at the door too.
He looks to the mouse and he says, You're not in a position to bargain, my little furry friend.
I grab the Bright Lord's leg and put my trident to it. Yeah?
Oh God, I don't know what you think you're going to achieve by doing this.
really
He looks to you and he
confused.
says, I don't care whether he lives or dies.
Liar!
I saw you looking at him.
Yeah.
I'll kill him too.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. So the Bright Lord's dropped his weapons. We have
Mistake.
Orin, who's also dropped his longsword, and then Lothian kind of like looks at him and smiles, and he says, And your knives. And Orin kneels down to get two longer, they're more like, short swords to be honest, but he pulls two knives from his boots, and then he says, And the one at your back.
Oh.
And Orin pulls out another short sword from his back and drops it as well.
Baxter?
I stab my trident into the ground. I say, fucker.
Okay, roll me a d20 strength check to see if your trident can pierce the stone.
It's an 11.
Okay, so you slam your trident down against the stone, but then it falls over, clanging and clattering to the ground, and you say, fucker. Okay, not as cool as you thought it was going to be, but still something. And then he looks to the Bright Lord and says, Any other weapons I should know about?
Is spell casting consider a weapon?
Yeah, but you
Are you
can't.
going to say that to him, or are you going to keep that to yourself?
Are these considered a weapon? And I flex them.
You know
How
what?
about the knives in my boots and the hand crossbow at my back? How about my secret blade that I keep up my sleeve? Is that a weapon?
I kind of want to keep it a secret.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it a secret.
Just lie to him.
So he says, as he looks to you all, this way, and he kind of backs into the darkness.
Fucker doesn't know what's coming.
Okay, so we're following him.
Yes, if you want to.
Do you let go of Varda?
No, he did not. He's still got his blade at her throat.
As I'm going in, can I try and stealthily pick up one of Orin's swords?
Yeah, you can stealthily attempt to do that. Roll me a stealth check.
Do you have plus 10?
Oh, yeah. Oh. Good. 14.
Yeah, no, he absolutely notices as he pulls her tighter and puts his sword closer to her throat. He says, What did I say?
I was just checking the make of the sword,
Roll me a deception check. You're not checking the make of the sword.
19. Or actually, that's a 21. My bad, I can't do math.
Okay, so he beats you, believe it or not, with a nat 20.
Holy.
Oh my god.
And he says, One more move like that, and I'll kill her.
I say
I
nothing.
love the distant stare. Yeah, I say nothing. Okay, so we're back to this Tyson McKay now. To be honest, I like the one that's silent over the one that says dumb shit all the time. Okay, and he enters the temple. You all follow and enter inside. It's awfully damp and cool in here, and you're walking down a corridor.
Moist
There are no real doors.
Somebody
Yo, fur,
hold
come
me.
on.
You're the warmest one here, I can see it.
You're walking through a corridor. It doesn't have any doors per se, but there are definitely entrances and exits to various rooms. As you continue to walk forward, you find yourself in a corridor that's lit with torches along the wall. There are serpents dangling from cracks in the ceiling, and they seem to slither along the floors quite happily in here.
Gross.
Okay, I'm glad you all didn't like that. The Yanty Lothian, if that is indeed his real name.
Probably not. It just sounds like Luth with an O.
Thanks, man. just put that out there. So he heads down the hallway and makes a right. You know, obviously his back to the wall. He's walking, looking at you guys.
I make a left.
There is no left. There is only a right.
Fuck.
So you're gonna walk into the wall.
Yeah.
Please.
Roll me a d20.
8.
You walk into the wall and you fall down.
Wow, these glasses don't work very well in here.
No, the glasses work fine. You're just a fucking moron. So, walking down this hallway for about another 40 feet, he turns right again. As you guys pass various entrances to other rooms, you see prayer rooms with idols that presumably the Yanty or their cultists would pray to, as well as luxurious hot baths that have, you know, kind of like a consistent bubbling effect to them. Really oddly, though, there are no cultists or Yanty inside. They all seem to be, you know, absent, not here.
Oh, God.
Except for Baxter, the cultist.
Is that your true backstory? Are you actually a lizard folk? Or a Yanty?
The Yanty paid me to kill my tribe.
Oh, God.
As you continue down this hallway and follow Lothian, the Yanty, right again, there are some stairs heading upwards. So heading up these stairs to the second level, you find yourselves in a very large chamber. There are statues along the wall, as well as a fountain, which is, it's the water of the fountain is dripping out of the fangs of a hooded cobra made of stone. Lothian continues to walk backwards. He knows this place quite well, it seems, as he moves past the statue down a hallway to the right from where you guys entered up into. This hallway looks to be about 50 feet long, with an entranceway on the right at about 20 feet and another entranceway, and he continues to walk backwards. I don't know if you guys are just planning on letting him continue to walk, or if you guys want to do something, you can just interject and stop me whenever you guys want.
Where are you taking us?
You want to ask that?
Yeah.
It's of no consequence to you now.
I think it is.
I think it is.
Wait.
Don't worry, all will be explained in time.
I look to fireman and I say, "You a fan of water?"
No.
True, I guess you didn't see me dump 30 gallons of water on that bullywug. Like, I have a spell that makes me summon 30 gallons of water. What if I just drench this motherfucker and then we hop on him? There's no way he can withstand 30 gallons of water.
True.
That's true.
And if he can, that's one hell of a fucking Yanty, I'll tell you that.
So your plan is to get him wet.
I'm pretty much hitting him with a wave.
I don't think you're hitting him with a wave, man. There are literally spells called Tidal Wave. What you're doing is you're dropping water on him.
30 gallons, though, that's a lot.
I mean, it might be a little bit of a surprise for him. It's definitely not going to be like a damage-dealing spell.
No.
It's not going to knock him to
It'll
his
be
knees.
like a distraction.
Yeah, distraction spell, I like it. Don't put him down, Noah, when he actually comes up with good ideas.
Okay, I'm putting him down because he came up with a bad idea. It's not a good idea. But I mean, hey, you guys can do whatever you like.
Wait, is this stone?
Yes, all of it's stone.
Okay. Seb, I don't know if you remember one of our first meetups where I had mold earth.
Yeah, you built a chair and just sat in the middle of the road.
Yeah. We can do this, guys.
I don't know what you guys are doing.
Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing either.
So I said, "Do you like water?" And you said no. And then,
What if you dump water on him the same time I move a stone up behind him? Just enough so that he trips backwards.
oh, it's drenched,
Yeah. The drenched part is
key. It's key to the fucking plan.
Can I run something by you? Let me see if you geniuses have figured this out yet. If he falls backwards and his sword is at Arda's throat, what do you guys think is going to happen?
The water will protect her throat.
Oh yeah, water stops swords. Okay, yeah. You know what? Never mind. D&D. If we could maybe make a correction to your books, it seems like you don't realize that water can block fucking swords.
Well, what
You
if
know
he
what?
lets-
I'm out. I'm out for the night. I can't do this anymore.
He might let go of his sword as he's falling to try and stop himself.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's. Look, you guys do you. I'm just letting you know that I don't think he's going to be as surprised.
Listen,
as you
Arda's
think
been
he
in
is.
worse situations, okay?
Yeah, she got all her bones broken by a fucking shambling mount.
Yeah, so what's a slit across the neck?
What do you mean, what's a slit across the neck? It's death. Oh my gosh.
I'm doing
Okay.
it.
Holy shit.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
So I'm gonna stealthily mold a stone up from behind him as he goes to step.
Alright. So, can you roll me a d20, please, for mold earth?
You got it.
Rip Arda.
10.
Okay, that's enough. To be honest, it's not a difficult spell. So you mold earth behind Lothian, the Yanty, who then begins to trip backwards and fall. We're gonna roll... I think this is fair. Pretty much a 50-50. Okay? So I got my coin here. 50% chance the sword doesn't slit her throat, I think is fair. And
I think that should
50%
be
chance
heads.
it absolutely does. Okay, heads it slits her throat, tails it does not?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hold on, what? I haven't looked at it yet, it's still on my palm.
She's dead.
I have deliver touch spell, and I could cast bark skin and send it. Travis can go touch her before she falls.
You'll have to be real quick.
Travis is fast.
Yeah, it's gotta be way faster than that, because he's already cast the spell. You got literally a second and a half. I don't think you have enough time for Therese to cast Barkskin. Even if you did, Barkskin just increases her AC. It doesn't make it more... Like, he can still slit her throat. You have 10 seconds to decide before I unveil this coin.
Can't I just use my cantrip, spare the dying, to save her?
7, 6,
Wait, what's that?
5,
It says touch a living
4,
creature that has 0 hit points. The creature
3,
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
2,
do that.
1.
Let's check it.
It's heads.
Oh, shit.
So, Lothian falls backwards, his sword, I should say, slitting Arda's throat on the way down. He slams his head on the stone ground, so we can see if he remains conscious for this. With a 16, he absolutely maintains his consciousness. As he springs back upwards, Arda is on the ground, hands at her throat, as her lizard folk blood is pouring through her fingers.
You monster!
It's now initiatives, so you guys got that going for you, which is nice. Would you guys like
Yeah,
to
you
roll me,
just
please?
Fucking let her die.
What are you talking about? She's still alive?
Barely.
We're fine, guys. Come on.
It's my girl.
He doesn't even know I did it, so...
That's a 12.
19 for me.
And, ooh, right before Fievel, nice. Oren is going to roll as well. Oren's got a nat 20.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we got Oren,
Is our
then we
tree
have
friend still
Tyson,
here?
then Fievel, then Bright Lord. And then with a 7, we have Lothian at the very end of that. Arda's Arda's going to roll, because we're going to see when she rolls her death's fucking saving throws, to be honest. With an 11, she's right after the Bright Lord and right before Lothian.
That's good. That's a good spot.
Okay, starting right at the top, we got Oren, okay? Oren rushes forward and tries to blast Lothian in the face with a punch. With a nat 20, he absolutely decks him. He breaks his nose, and we're going to immediately roll to see if Lothian maintains consciousness. He just smacked his head against the stone. Now Oren's nat 20'd him to the face. With a 15, he's still conscious.
Holy shit. Wow.
You're not really sure how, okay? Oren does 2 damage with his punch.
Hey.
So Lothian takes 2, and because he chose the attack action, he gets to attack again, so he's going to go for another blast to the face. And with a 17, that's a hit. So
Holy
we're going to roll
shit,
again.
Oren. You keep it up, buddy.
And he only does 1 damage this time, but I mean, still. 3 damage for punches. I mean, the guy's doing pretty well.
Yeah, no.
Fievel, you're up next.
Okay. Well, pull out my dagger, I guess, for one.
Ooh, you hid your dagger, eh? You naughty boy.
Sure did. That counts as an action, I guess, just taking out the dagger.
Correct.
Okay. Got a dagger out.
Okay, excellent. So Fievel pulls out a dagger. Good thing we had you go first before Tyson McKay. Tyson, what would you like to do?
Do you have spells to save her eventually?
I have spare the dying, which is a cantrip.
Brings her back to 0.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and carefully grab Arda and pull her out of the main area of the fighting.
All right, yeah. She's kind of in the middle of things right now, but
I just want to get her out of into safety, near the Bright Lord.
in case you want to pull her backwards.
Yeah.
Okay, so you interact with Arda, so that's your action, and you pull her back. You're gonna have to walk forward 10 feet, but then you can pull her back 20.
Wow.
But you know what? I'm gonna need a strength check from you to do so.
Is she that heavy? Okay,
She's heavier
19.
than-
19, so
Yeah.
+1.
So you pull her back 20 feet to behind where the Bright Lord is, and she's out of danger's way. We're now on to the Bright Lord himself, who is, you just saw Tyson McKay run in there, grab Arda, and pull her back.
Save her.
It's okay, baby.
She says, how are you so calm?
I'm gonna use my cantrip, Spare the Dying, just to get her back to 0.
Okay, so you use your cantrip, Spare the Dying. She no longer is rolling death saving throws, she is stabilized. But she is, for all intents and purposes, out of this fight. The Bright Lord's magic has just kind of somewhat stitched over her wound in her neck, but she's still lost a lot of blood. She's still fading out of consciousness. So, good stuff, Bright Lord. I really like the gameplay.
Yeah,
now we're on to Arda's turn. Arda is KO'd, so she's out of the fight, so she's not doing anything.
Useless. Sleep, sweet friend.
Next up, we have Lothian, who is going to rush forward with his swords. Oh, come on. Let the guy have a turn, for fuck's sake. Okay, he is going to slash at Orin in the stomach with a 19. He absolutely hits. So he ends up doing 2 slashing damage to Orin's stomach, and then he tries to slash him again, hacking him at the shoulder this time with a 17. That's absolutely another hit. Jesus. And on his shoulder, he's able to do 4 damage, so Orin's taken 6 damage total.
No, Orin.
Lothian's still going to stay where he is. He doesn't want to kind of provoke an opportunity by moving, but he's kind of taking Orin on head to head. Not really fair, because Orin doesn't really have any weapons. So Orin's going to pull a classic knight move. He's going to try and grab the sword out of Lothian's hand. So it's going to be a grapple check. Orin with a 17, and Lothian with a 10.
Yeah.
So Orin steals the sword out of his hands, and then points it at his throat, and says, "How does it feel?"
Kick the back of his legs, Fievel, or Baxter.
It's now Baxter's turn. So you just saw Orin steal the sword out of Lothian's hands with a pretty fast move there.
Steal it out of his hand.
I need this more than you do.
How does it feel?
I point my dagger, but then psych, and then blast Eldritch Blast at fucking Lothian. Psych.
Okay. Psych. I like that. So you cast Eldritch Blast. Can you roll me a d20, please?
I am rolling. That's a 13 plus 3, 16.
It's absolutely a hit. You blast through Lothian's armor. He's kind of wearing medium armor, one of those 14s plus dex. So you overcome his armor class and you blast him with his magic spell. Can you please roll me your damage?
7.
Nice. So you do 7 damage to him. That's awesome. So he kind of is taken aback. He kind of fumbles and stumbles backwards a few feet as you blast him with this magic. We're now on to Tyson McKay.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a sad day, guys. But
Oh god.
Leave Arda alone.
No, I gotta tear a sleeve off my shirt, and I'm gonna try and patch Arda up, her neck.
Nice. Yeah, she still is somewhat bleeding through there. So can you roll me a medicinal check, please?
Well, this is my strength, but let's do it. Oh boy, 5.
Yeah, so you tie off some cloth around her neck. There's not a lot of pressure on it though, so she's still bleeding.
Bright Lord, how do?
It's now the Bright Lord's turn.
Man, I could use Guiding Bolt on this guy. Or I could use Cure Wounds on Arda.
But Arda stabilize. Why don't we just kick this guy's ass?
I'm gonna rush up and see if I could grab him and spit acid in his face.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you're gonna have to kind of push past Fievel and push past Orin. So you're just gonna grab him and spit acid, because technically grappling's a turn.
You know
or
what?
you're just gonna
I'll
sorry.
spit acid at his legs.
Okay, so you spit acid at him, kind of running forward a little bit. You're not going to hit Fievel, but Orin's definitely going to get some splashback. They're both going to roll dex saving throws.
Uh-oh.
Orin with an 18,
Yes.
plus his dex, but Lothian with a 20.
Holy
Lothian
shit.
leaps out of the way and takes no damage. Orin's going to take half damage.
Shit.
Alright.
Fievel turns on you.
It's a 2.
This is a 2v4
Okay, so
now.
Orin takes 2 damage, so he's at 8 total in terms of damage taken. And we are on to Arda, who is again KO'd, so we're over to Lothian. Lothian's gonna rush forward and slash the Bright Lord twice with his scimitar, but he rolls a 1. So he rushes forward very quickly, blindingly fast, but he slips in the acid and falls down, taking full acid damage.
Oh, roll that acid damage.
That's 2d6 right there.
Nice.
4 and a 2, so 6 damage.
Oh boy.
So he takes 6 damage, and we are, he kind of gets himself up at the end of his turn, and seeing as he was interrupted in his attacks, he's just gonna guard and get ready to defend some oncoming attacks. We now have ourselves over to Orin, who is gonna take a few steps to the left and blast him in the face again with another punch. With a 19, he absolutely does so, just rattling Lothian. For damage, we're looking at a solid 2. And then he's going to try and punch him in the gut.
Oh boy.
With a 15, plus his to hit, he's going to do so again. So for damage, we're looking at another 2.
Who is this guy?
Okay, we're over to Fievel now.
Psych.
I eat some cheese.
I go to Eldritch Blast, but then I psych and go to swing at him with my dagger.
Nice.
All this psyching, I want to kind of roll to see if you know what you're doing at any given point. But yeah, sure, you swing at him with your dagger. Can you roll me a d20?
It's a 5.
Yeah, so you're trying to get too fancy with it and you miss. Okay, we're over to
some
Tyson
acid in your
McKay.
eyes. Okay, I'm gonna stand up from Arda, and like some fires in my eyes. I'm pretty pissed at this guy, and I'm gonna reach inside of his mind with a dissonant whisper. I'm gonna say, "I banish you, you lizard scum." Is that reptile scum?
Yeah, snake scum, maybe. I don't know. He's definitely not a lizard. So we're gonna roll for him. He has a 13 plus 1, so a 14 for his wisdom saving throw.
What's a tie?
So he makes it. So he's only going to take the half damage.
Okay, so he takes 8.
Nice. We're over to the Bright Lord now.
Yes.
Wake up!
Get out here.
Oh, this is my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
I had to smoke a bowl before going.
I'm gonna go.
Drugs are bad, kids. Who was it? I think it's Eric Andre's show where he's like, kids, if you find cocaine in your parents' bedrooms, do as much of it as possible. It cannot hurt you.
He's not wrong.
I'm gonna go for a punch right in the face.
Roll me a d20.
17 plus 4.
Bam, you slam him in the face again.
Hey.
Okay, so
So
take
2.
2 points.
2.
We are now over to Arda, who's still out of the game, so we skip her to Lothian, who turns towards all of you, sneers, and says, "You don't know what's coming." He then shifts into a serpent, and he slithers away. So you're all going to get an opportunity attack, essentially. Orin's going to try and stomp him with his boot, but with a 2, he misses and heals the ground.
Jesus, Orin!
Tyson, you're not in there, so you don't get an opportunity attack because you're not melee.
No.
But Fievel gets a melee opportunity attack.
Can I, attempt to stab my dagger through his tail and, hold him down?
Yeah, sure, I'll allow that.
It's an 11. Fuck.
So he gets away pretty easy. It's just he's tough to hit because he's so slippery, slidey, quick, right? It's not like you couldn't have pierced through his armor. And Bright Lord, you're going to get a chance to stomp down on him or try and,
Grab
do
him and
whatever
throw
it
him
is that
back
you
at
want.
me, and I'll fucking roast him.
Just leap
Oh my
and grab
gosh.
his tail.
Yeah, can I leap and try and grab him?
Okay, roll me a d20.
Just a 2.
Yeah, so between all the acid and all the other stuff on the ground, mostly blood, like Arda's, he's just too slippery and he slides away. He slithers down the hallway and he makes a left at the end of the hallway and disappears out of sight.
Coward!
I make a right.
I hate this bit. So, Arda's on the ground. It's Orin who looks to the Bright Lord and says, "Can you heal her enough to get her ready to fight?"
Depends on what I roll.
What? I roll to see what he means by he's gonna roll.
I roll to see what he means by he's gonna roll.
Yeah, I say I can try, but she won't be at full strength.
This is tough, my friends. We don't have any of our weapons. We should go down and get them. But I fear we'll have to leave Arda outside. I don't think she'll be ready for this fight.
I could cast Cure Wounds on it.
Fuck, where's the woodward?
Where is
The Woodwode?
Woodwode?
Yeah.
He did not come inside.
Oh.
What a bitch.
Woodward.
You know, when the whole thing went down with Lothian, you all started, following him blindly, and the wood just like turned to wood and did not enter.
No.
What a guy.
We gotta go get him.
Should I cast Cure Wounds on Arda?
Nah, let's just take Arda out. Leave her in the desert.
Alright, so you guys are carrying Arda out of the temple?
Correct, Anundo.
Orin helps to carry her, as does, I'm imagining, the Bright Lord, because he's pretty big.
Oh, I see how it is.
Flex my guns.
You go back the way you came, down the steps, down that straight hallway, making a left and then another left, and then it's just a straight shot towards the entrance to the temple. Once outside, you guys are able to retrieve all your weapons, so you guys can write that back down, pick those up.
Hang on. So
Sorry?
Before we go out, as we're passing that area where there's a bunch of lizards, or whatever, snakes and stuff.
There's just snakes out, like, in the hallways, coming out of cracks in the ceiling, like, they're just everywhere.
Oh, they're not in a certain area? Okay.
No.
Okay, never mind then.
No. Everywhere you look, you can pretty much see a serpent coiled up, curled up, slithering in some way, shape, or form.
Kill them all.
Can I blast them all with fire?
I mean, you can. Is that something you'd like to do?
Every single one. I gotta go out and cleanse this pyramid.
Are you doing that?
Let's kill them all. Tie all of them together and then leave like a snake trail so we know our way out just in case something happens.
Do you think they'd throw up? Like
Holy fuck, I don't think we have enough time for that.
You haven't seen me tie snakes together yet?
Okay, so Orin's outside with, and I'm assuming the Bright Lord didn't stop to listen to this fucking stupid plan.
Me and Fievel are going over this plan. We could tie them all.
So, Bright Lord, you're outside with Orin. You can both pick up your weapons. The Woodwode is there, standing at the entrance to the temple. And as you guys approach, Orin doesn't chastise him for not coming in or anything. He just, like, nods at the Woodwode, who nods back. And you guys are followed, I'm assuming, by the Bright Lord, by the Fireman and by Fievel, who are both bringing up the rear.
Yeah, Fievel's going ahead of me.
No.
Okay.
Find a branch and I hold on.
Okay, what would you guys like to do now that you're outside? Orin says it might not be a bad idea for you guys to take a rest.
Ooh, if we do that, then I'm going to use Cure Wounds on Arda.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll probably
wounds?
let's just take a rest.
Yeah.
Alright, Cure
Okay.
Wounds on Arda.
Okay, I say, Bright Lord, hold my hand. Let's
And
do
we'll-
this together.
Well, yeah, I hold his hand.
So stupid.
Okay, so we double
Okay.
Cure Wounds, blast Arda.
Don't act like that does more. just shout out your numbers for Cure
Holy
Wounds.
shit, that did worse actually.
I got a 2. Justin got a 1.
I got a 1, yeah.
Oh my god. Are you guys gonna keep healing her or what?
I have another spell slot. Let's do it.
Yeah, one more.
Wait, let's switch sides. Maybe we weren't holding the right hands.
You're right.
You gotta hold left hands.
Okay.
7, yes!
7, yes!
You both got
He
seven.
did actually, yeah.
Ridiculous.
I knew my
Okay,
left hand was...
so she's at 27. You guys have healed her for 27.
Nice.
She's also gonna roll her hit dice because she's taking a rest. She's back at full health.
Nice.
You like that, Arda?
Okay.
Who are you?
So weird. Okay, so we now have the group taking a short rest outside. So for about 2.5 hours, you guys rest up. Orin sharpens his swords. You guys can regain any health that you've lost through hit dice. And it's now into the hours of the evening. Just as dusk is setting over the pyramid, you guys can enter again if you so choose.
Let's head in, boys.
At the
girl.
opening, and I say, charge!
Okay, so at Fievel's mention of charge, everyone gets up and enters the temple again. You guys are in that main hallway now. Again, the torches and candles still lit, serpents still slithering about, but there is no sight of any kind of humanoids.
I grab a torch.
So grabbing a torch, your crew continues to walk forward, straight for about 60 feet, before you guys make a right-hand turn for about 20 feet. Moving along, you see scriptures and carvings on the walls of serpent-like creatures. Taking another right-hand turn, you begin up a set of stairs. You're now into that room with the hooded cobra fountain, which is a square room about 20 feet by 20 feet. Candles are lit around the fountain, and there are serpents coiled in the bath basin of the fountain itself. And you guys can continue to walk forward and then to the right, down a hallway that you saw Lothian slip down as a serpent.
Yeah.
You continue to walk straight. Sorry, continue.
I think all these serpents are definitely Yanty just transformed like Lothian did.
Good point. What do you guys think about that?
Maybe we should attack one and test the theory. All of them
Stop on
shift.
one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't think it's a big deal. I think we can fight our way out. If not, we'll just use Arda as cannon fodder again. Seems to work well.
Would you guys like to continue down this hallway?
Yeah.
Okay. So you continue down the hallway, which banks left for about 10 feet, and then another immediate left. And you see another set of stairs heading upwards.
This is it, boys. Let's go. And girl.
So you head up the stairs left, and you find yourselves in not a super large chamber. It's about 20 feet by 35 feet. There are small doorways, kind of in the corners of the pyramid structure, but this large dais area in the center. And you see another set of stairs across this large platform, but no one's here either. Snakes, again, kind of slithering along the grounds, but no movements from humanoids at all. You head across this room. There are pillows on the ground, velvet and purple, with drapes along the walls and other types of sculptures. Very luxurious, very high class, it appears. As you guys head up the next set of stairs to the 4th level of the pyramid. Here, it is just a very large room, about 40 feet by 40 feet, in the center of which there is a circular dais atop the regular platform with a bowl in the center of it. It's on a pedestal, and all around the dais, all around the ground around you, you see dozens and dozens of bodies on the ground. Throats slit.
Oh my god.
Okay,
No.
wrists slashed, and it's all of the lizard folk, Tyson McKay's friends and family, and other humanoids that you guys don't recognize, that you've never seen before. Standing amidst all these bodies, first of all, is Lothian in the background, but another humanoid, nearly 26 feet long, a serpent that rears its head up, or should I say heads, as it has 2 large arms and 6 large cobra heads. It slithers upright, staring at you, and all of its mouths say in unison, "We've been waiting for you." And that's where we're going to end off. You son of a bitch. You can't have a moment. That's where we're going to leave off tonight's pod, guys. So if you guys have any ideas of how the pod's gonna go from here, one more episode, guys, and we are concluding Season 1. So we'd love to hear what you fans have to say about the pod so far, about what might go down. So some final questions to leave you guys off with. How will our heroes deal with the anathema that they've now encountered? What are they going to do about all their friends who have perished along the way? What's going to happen with Lothian and how he's betrayed Orin? All these questions will be answered on the next Dicey D20. But as always, whether you were listening morning, evening, noon, or night, I'm your DM, Noah, signing out, and I hope you guys had a great time.
Fireman sad. All background music and audio comes from Tabletop Audio. If you're running your own campaign, visit tabletopaudio.com to find music for any situation.